I know it's a little early this morning. A lot of you probably are coming in, maybe just having your cup of coffee, a cup of joe, whatever you want to call it. But this morning, I want to share with you a message. You know, it's going to be new to ears that have never heard it. It'll be a tighten-up session for those that have gotten off of the track, if you will. But it will also be a blessing for those who just never knew it, weren't trained up to do the things God's way. And today I titled the message, Lifestyle Matters. Now, lifestyle matters because if you think about life and your lifestyle, we can choose lifestyle situations, where we live, what we drive, what we wear, amen? But what do we do when it comes to our food in that department? They call me the food police. I don't mean to be one, because if I did, I'd probably have to ticket a lot of people. However, I wanted to share with you a little bit of information. I'm going to show a video just to kick things off. And that video is going to talk a little bit about what we could or should be doing when it comes to our health. But more importantly, what will your next 10 years look like? What will your next 10 years look like? That will be developed and determined by the way you've lived your last 10 years. What have you sown into those 10 years? Are you living your best life? Do you work too much? Do you have low energy? Lack of sleep? These are things that I hear all the time. Are you stressed out? Some of that we bring on ourselves. Do you have challenges in your bodies like aches and pains? We got to share some things yesterday about God's real medicine. Your pastor talked about his peppermint. Well, a lot of you all got to experience some of that yesterday. Eye-opener, I'm sure. Have you been diagnosed with a sickness or a disease and you don't know how to really get the answer, so you kind of lean on the world's way of doing things because that's all you know. That's what we've been taught. You know, my grandmother just turned 100 years old in May, and I thank Lifeline for being there, calling and praying with her, because when that happened, she didn't know if she was going to see her 100th birthday, and actually she didn't want to see it because she felt, I don't want to see it sick. But we were able to minister with her, use some of God's potions and lotions, as I call them, and I can tell you today, they told her she probably will walk again. And I'm so grateful for that, because of the news report was that, you know, after having a stroke, because that's what happened, and she walked into the hospital. There wasn't anything wrong. She just slipped and fell. And, you know, at that age, you want to make sure everything is intact. But unfortunately, they gave her a drug. How many people know that it wasn't a drug from the streets? It was a drug from the hospital, and she slipped into a coma because it was a side effect of the medication. Side effect. I call those special effects. A lot of us have those. But are you just too busy just to get the right information or the right news to do the right things? And the Bible says in 3 John 2, Beloved, put your name there. I wish above all that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. Pastor Terrence and I talked about that this morning. Two of the most important subjects, finances and health, or fitness. We don't like the word fitness, so I'll just say health. But he wants us to have health, wealth, and happiness, but we determine if we're going to get that. So I'm going to show you a little clip, and I want you to put yourself on either one of those sides, because I divided the room here. You can divide it yourself. If I ask, you know how you get married, the groom's family sits on one side, the bride's family sits on the other side. Well, I divided the table here before us. I prepared the table. Is that all right? And I have God's way of doing things and the world's way of doing things. And you determine what side you're on. You know, you might be in between, but you can lean over to the left or lean over to the right any day or any time you want to. Can we play that clip?
What will your last 10 years look like? Will you be quick enough for a game of tag with your grandchild? Strong enough to embrace every moment? Will you grow old with vitality? Or get old with disease? It's time to decide. The average Canadian will spend their last 10 years in sickness. Change your future at makehealthlast.ca.
Just give you a moment to think about that. You know, when I saw that for the first time, I get phone calls every single week from people. Not just older people that know that they're getting old and they don't want to leave here in a sick body. I'm talking about people that are my age and younger than me, or children that have been diagnosed with symptoms or sicknesses that they shouldn't be diagnosed with. You know, animals in the wild don't get diseases. I went to the zoo and I was looking at the boars, or they were bison. You know, that's a meat, I think. Isn't that something that people eat? Yeah. Well, I was looking at those animals, and they were huge animals. And I walked up to the nutritionist and I said, what do they eat for a living? You heard me say living. And she said, they eat grasses. I said, that big animal eats grass. She said, that's all they eat. And I just want you not that you have to change everything you do, but turn in the direction of health. Some days. We don't have to eat like that every day, because we were trained and taught to eat that. You see, health is a choice. It is a choice. And I chose to live a healthy lifestyle, because you heard the phrase that says, girl, look at them over there eating themselves to death. They are. And the thing about it is, there's some health facts that you want to know. Today, it says that more than 95% of chronic diseases are caused by the food choices that we make, toxic food ingredients that we have in our foods that we don't know about, the nutritional deficiencies that come from foods that are not food, like a watermelon with no seeds, or a grape with no seeds. You know, you had to plant a seed in London for you to produce those two beautiful boys back there. But if we keep eating foods that don't have seeds in them, guess what? We're destroying our own temple. God created a seed. You know, he plants seeds in your life. It could be an idea, right? But more importantly, we're talking about the seeds of health today. And I want you to know that you have to eat food that has life in it so it can give you life back. And last but not least, the lack of physical exercise or movement. I don't like the word exercise because we get scared of that. Most of the time we say exercise, that's when we close up and turn out the door. That's why the congregation is not full now. They're trying to get their sleep in so they can be ready for the next service. Yeah. But what is food? That's a question you should ask yourself. And then, what is the purpose of food? Food is a substance which is eaten to sustain life, provide energy, promote growth and repair your tissues, and nourishment for your cells. But it does not or will not destroy your body. So if you're eating food, I don't mean like this morning I had a banana, because I know that bananas have potassium. Anybody know that? What does a banana pudding have? I'm just asking. Good taste, right? Good taste, but I mean, you have to know the purpose of a thing. Because you'll abuse it, but it'll abuse you. Right? And then let's look at this standard American diet that we're found ourselves on. I kept looking at that SAD, that SAD diet that a lot of people are. Why do they call it SAD? That standard American diet, it says that 63% of it comes from processed foods. You see all these foods behind me in these bags, boxes, cans and jars. They fill our cabinets. They make them beautiful on the outside, the stuff you pay for, but on the inside, there's no nutritional value. Even the words on the back of there, you can't even pronounce them because they're like a chemistry lab, because that's how they were created, in the chemistry lab. But God had a plant too, a plant that grows things. That was his chemical lab. And if you go outside, you see it all around you. As a matter of fact, one of those plants fell right on the parking lot. Am I right? It almost caused us not to get in there. But the thing about it is those plants provide the manufacturing goods or foods for your body. It's a wonderful thing. It says that 25% of our foods that we ingest come from animal sources. Now, God allowed us to eat animals in the Bible. He gave a special clause there. If you find it in Leviticus, look for it for yourself. I don't have but so many minutes. But I want you to know that he gave instructions when eating it, because his original plan for you were you to eat plants and fruits first. And then if you have to add some other things, you can provide some animals. But look at this. The foods that he created, he provided them so that you can eat them at any time whenever you find them. On the tree, you can grab it and go, right? You got these 4 fingers. You going to find a steak on the tree? Nope, you got to go home and prepare it. Now, I'm not trying to beat people up on meat, but I want you to have some meat out Monday, maybe a meat out Tuesday. Take some of your meat out of your diet so you can live freer. Too many people are leaving here too early from the very things that they don't know they're guilty of. You know, if you run a red light and a man comes behind you, you get a ticket. But what are you going to do when it comes to your health? The ticket you get is in the hospital. Yeah, and then we have to come pray and take time out of our life. What are you spending your money on for that? That's not food. And let's look at this third category. 12% of our food comes from fruits and vegetables. And let's cut that 12% into 6. Half of that, 6% of it, comes from French fries. That's the vegetable that most people eat. Yeah. Well, I eat them too. I'm just saying. They need some color in them, you know? Why is the standard American diet so deadly? Because of that 63%, those processed foods, they come from refined foods like soft drinks, packaged snacks, potato chips. Chips make hips and fries make thighs, in case you didn't know. Packaged desserts, yeah. And substance-like foods. Foods that look like food, but they don't taste like it, right? And then the 25%, we know they come from animal-based products or animal look-like products. You know, they make out of a animal like a hot dog, that recall they had last week on hot dogs. Don't eat a hot dog. That's why it's hot. Could be a dog. I don't know what it is. And then the 12% of the plant-based diet, you want to get more plants in. And I want to just say to you that if you can, this week, if you're one of those people, I don't like vegetables, they don't taste good. Do you like fruits? We're in a season where you get as many of those as possible. So get as many of those in because they actually clean your lymphatic system. You know why that's important? Because you have 2 blood streams running in your body, your blood and you have your lymph, where all your waste runs through, your sewage system. And if you don't eat enough fruits, you're never going to clean it out. And if you don't, you open the door to cancer, diabetes, and every other disease, because if your sewage system is not clean, you cannot live. Does that make sense? So I'm just trying to make you know so you can share this with your children, so you can see your children's children. The standard American diet leads to a standard American diseases and then standard American deaths. You know any of those? High blood pressure, heart attacks, cancer. And I want you to know, don't be afraid of the word cancer. I'm a deliverer for 29 years. I'll be going into 30 years come August. And you know, the greatest thing about that is I love the fact that when I walk into a room and somebody tells me they have cancer, they have a fearful look on their face. And I said, I've been a survivor for 29 years, and to walk this journey, it's been a pleasure and an honor, and I'm so glad God gave me the assignment, not because I walked it, because it wasn't easy. It wasn't a cakewalk. I'm just saying, it was discipline, but it taught me to be the person that I am. As I added into my 60s when I thought I wouldn't get to 50 because my mother turned 50 and died and my dad turned 50 and died, I'm living. I haven't eaten myself to death, and I'm not in fear of it coming back because I don't do any of the things that opens the door anymore. But the different levels of sickness, I want you to just hone in on the one that says suboptimal health. You see it there? 70 to 75% of the people fall in that category. Those are people that wake up with a headache, a stomach ache after they eat something, pain in their body, they don't know where it comes from. Some of you may be out there doing it. I met some of you yesterday. I won't call you out. But there's issues that we're dealing with. We don't have to. And you know what? Lifeline has a name that says it extends life. It extends you a lifeline. I want you to have that lifeline. That's why I believe I'm a part of it. Because I want you to have everything you need so it taps into the vision that Pastor has so he can fulfill the prison ministry. And he may have a housing ministry. I'm just calling it out. And any other things that God's placed a gift in you, because your gift ties into somebody else's gift in life. But you can't get it if you don't feel well. When he calls you and says, hey, you know, I don't feel well today. He can pray for you, but if you know that you sat up last night and had a pizza with a pop, and that's why you don't feel well, did you ask them how come they don't feel well? No, we just start praying. Amen? We got to know the cause, right? We have to know the cause of what's going on. These foods that we're eating and what's in our processed food. Do you know what's in your processed foods? Do you have any idea? Our processed foods are broken into what we like to think of calories, right? That's a weapon of mass destruction, by the way. Have y'all ever seen that before? Right. Well, you probably have it in your cabinets, but it's not formed into a gun. But let me just show you. We've been told that we need to watch our calories. I want you to know you don't have to watch calories. You need to know that your food that you eat has substance, has nothing to do with calories, because you don't know how many calories are in an apple or a banana, do you? We just eat to make it big or small. You can eat 5 or 10. It won't matter because it knows and recognizes your body. As a matter of fact, God put a special code on his food, no labels to read, and when you take a food that goes in your body for potassium that your body needs, your body gets potassium. It can't get the potassium from something that man-made because it's been a jarbled, or I call it the Babylonian language, has been put on there and it doesn't know what's going on. But when you look at oil, and I tell people just watch out for the oils. Eat an avocado or nuts or things that have oil, but don't eat oil. Would you just drink a gallon of oil? And what does it taste like anyway, right? Where it says that if we put oil in our body, just 500 calories, we'll put a little bit of substance in our stomach, but it's still empty. If we put a little bit of cheese on it, you know, they call that cheese over your, whatever you eat it on, right? Now we got a few more calories, but we still are hungry. And then we could look at some meat that we can add, like fried chicken, one of my favorite foods. It was. Okay, I was a wing-ding eater, let me tell you. But I'm still not full. Yeah, everywhere you go. And then potatoes, rice, and beans. These are more foods with substance. As you can see, the stomach filling, 500 calories, but we still have some emptiness. But until we add some of God's fruits and vegetables into our diet, we can't see ourselves fulfilled. Now, we ask the question, where does sickness come from? Sickness is caused by our own thoughts, actions, emotions, what we eat, breathe, drink, and what we do on a daily basis. And it's not natural to be sick. The body automatically knows how to get well and knows how to do it. If you cut your arm or your skin or whatever the case is, it automatically begins to coagulate, signals go to the brain, and healing begins to manifest. But you want to know that you want that same kind of manifestation, not just with a cut, you want it with cancer or a cold or anything. But if you eat the right foods, the body will get all the nutrients it needs, and it automatically knows because it's been pre-programmed to heal. It's programmed for healing. In Proverbs 26:2, it says, the curse caused this can't even come. It can't even come to your house. He also said, by his stripes, we are healed. So if we already are healed, why do we stand in so many healing lines asking for healing? We already got it. We just haven't activated. It's like having your American Express card. You got the card, and you ain't activated. Wonder why it won't work. Why don't we activate it? I'm here just to be a voice. You know, I'm going to go back home and eat what I eat and do what I do, but what you going to do? Our food matters. Food becomes our blood. It's what creates our cells, tissues, organs, and even becomes our thoughts. You don't believe me? Talk to a child that's listening to someone else, maybe been you, and they say something you don't want them to say. Where did they get that from? Right? All food is made to turn into a liquefied form before it enters the stomach. So you think about, I'm not going to go there, but you think about what you eat that is liquefied. Yesterday we showed a movie called Eating You Alive. It was about 22 doctors who have joined a more, I want to call holistic way of adding to their practices because people are looking for it. They want it. And it actually featured Samuel Jackson, who before he made a movie, he ended up with all these blood clots in his leg. But he went to a doctor that I know, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, at the Cleveland Clinic, and they showed him how to change his lifestyle choices, his food, and the clots went away. So he became an advocate. But I want you to know there's some other culprits. I don't want you just to think it's food. It's in the sugars, obviously. It's in the fat. But it's also in the plastics that we eat our food out of, utensils and things. That anything you get in plastic in your home, immediately transfer it into something glass. Don't heat in the microwave. I'm not going to go there on the microwave subject, but don't put plastic in the microwave. When you do that, you put the plastic in your food and the food in your plastic. You ever make spaghetti in the microwave and it turns red? And then you eat it? Well, you've just eaten some plastic. Medications. Okay? I call that, you know, the system, Metascare. Y'all heard of the Metascare system? Because that's really what it is. They try to scare you into health. Or these beauty products that we look at, women today on TV. I've never seen such makeup in my life. They look like they're casket ready, right? And then last but not least, these processed foods. Our life has been processed, and we need to do something different about it. I'm here to help for those who have hearing ears and want to make a change. We got to reduce our toxic load. And how do we do that? first start with removing our toxic emotions. Our toxic emotions, that falls into the categories of anger, which weakens our liver. This is how come some people can't get well. Grief, which weakens our lungs. Worry, which, my stomach is all jumbled up. Pastor, I hear what you said, but, right? Or stress, our heart and our brain. My heart goes out to Brother Ronnie today because I talked to his brother. We were getting ready to get on a journey. But Satan always knows what you're getting ready to do because you tell him. Stop telling him everything that you're doing. He ain't in the plan, so don't let it out. And then fear. It weakens your kidneys, where that lymph system runs through that I told you needs to be clean. Keep it clean. This detoxing of our body is the first thing that we need to do to get our bodies back. Okay, I'm going to give you these few things and I'm going to hit the seat there. These few things. We got to detox our body from bacteria, fungus, parasites, viruses, and mold. Can I tell you a secret? When they call disease a disease, it really means that you just have toxicity running through your body. There's no such thing as a cancer disease or bacterial disease. They fall in this category. They don't know. If you have diabetes, it's a bacterial infection. You got to get cleaned up. If you have fungus, that leads on to the cancer side. Fungus is rapid through your body. But you don't know that. You've never been told that. We're watching cancers leave so fast today, more so than what they're seeing cancers grow today. Learn what you can do. You have the power to heal your own body. I can't heal you. I can pray, but you have the power to heal. God needs your participation in your healing. You see, your lifestyle loads the gun, but it's the choices that you make that pull the trigger. Health is a choice. In Deuteronomy 30:19, it says, I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Therefore, choose life, so that both you and your seed may live. He didn't say so that he said you and your seed. Do you know how many families I talk to where the parents are gone and the children are left for somebody to raise? That's not what you want. That's not what you should have. Look in the mirror. Eat less from a box and more from the earth. In Proverbs 23:2 it says, put a knife to thy throat, and thou be a man given to his appetite. Because sometimes we do that. Some people look at this hamburger and it's like, man, I can't wait to put my teeth in it. Yep, and be ready to put your shovel in the grave. Because if you keep eating like that, that's where you're going. I'm just trying to keep it real. See, because they're not going to tell you the truth. I know Pastor said I'm tough, but look, those police are tough too, but they need to be, right? I'm trying to help you save your life. I can't save it, but I can help you save it. I mean, if you never drink water, I have people, I never drink water. Well, how long you going to live? Your body's 75% water, and you don't drink none? Really? Why I drink it when I have my chocolate cake? Well, praise the Lord for the chocolate cake, because you're getting something in. Good health makes a lot of sense, but it doesn't make a lot of dollars, right? A biblical perspective. Eat foods that give you health and follow the natural health laws. In Genesis 1:29, your original food plan, it says, we were originally given seed-bearing plants, which are fruits, and trees with seeds bearing fruit for your food. So if your food doesn't have seeds, it doesn't have what? Life. It says in Ezekiel 47:12, the tree of life will bear fruit every month. That means it doesn't matter what season it is, fruits will be available to you all year round. And then the last one, for those people that don't know where their medicines comes from, it says, food will serve for our food, and leaves or herbs will be for the healing of the nation. Your leaves, the things that they make medicine out of, that's your healing. Not the altered ones, not the ones that have toxins attached to them, the ones that truly can heal your body, the ones that you should use. Your grandparents should know, because that's all they had to use. My grandmother's up there fighting with them. I feel like she got a kung fu fighting suit on out there. What's that you bringing in here? And what that do? Because she didn't lose her mind. She told them, you gave me the stroke. I ain't have one when I come in here. Wow. Okay? And she was right. He looked at, he didn't know what to say. I thought he was going to start talking Chinese. I didn't know. Right. But we have the power for change. Health is a choice. Start in the mind. Drink plenty of good quality water. Get good rest. Because, when I say good rest, there must be some bad rest when you toss and turn all night. Get some sunlight daily. Be by a window if you can't get outside in the sun. Stay in control of your circumstances. Don't give some of these circumstances over. Cut the stress with deep breathing and let it out, like we showed you yesterday, and meditation. Remove some toxic people, food, and things from your life, because you need to. If they stress you out, give them a hand and you'll step it off. And I did let you know, I bought something up here I want you to see if you choose to. I bought that, you remember that hamburger and fries that I carry around with me? Well, this got a birthday. It's almost 20 years old now, but it's living back here on this table, But I want you to know, if you still eating that kind of stuff, this is probably still sitting in you trying to find a way out. Change the oils and fats that you use. Eat more real fruit, not sugar that has been put in other things or things that contain sugar. Add more color in your lifestyle through your fruits and vegetables, nuts, grains, and seeds. And this is a phrase that I say at the end of every class. It's not the food in your life, but the life in your food that counts. So make every bite count. Amen. To God be the glory.